right.
Well, speaking of laying it, would you like to find me a road favorite that's given a touchdown here that I can go ahead and take? Because I'll give you
Shocking.
one.
Shocking that this one made the rundown considering the ramifications of last week and, this team winning. Um, Go ahead. What
Tennessee,
road favorite?
Tennessee at Pitt. You can
You
give me
want
the latest line as
you
we
want me to
record
do
Tuesday morning,
you
six and a
want me
half, seven.
do you want me to get the pit hat out? I'll get the pit hat out
Well, it
and
didn't work for you
curl
last
one that
week.
says
I
pit.
mean,
Yeah, did
it didn't work for you last week. West Virginia covered. So yeah, go ahead and break it out. I'll take Tennessee. We'll cover again. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
listen. Well, so it's not even a hesitation. You're just going to lay it against Pitt at home
Yeah, I am.
against your West Virginia. You were doing your shows and watching. You did all the post game and had all these people calling and all the other stuff. You watched that game.
Mhm.
7 points at home. What? The-
Yeah, here's why.
Come on. Why?
Here's why.
Tell me. Okay.
This game last year was a shootout. Both teams had to go up and down the field.
Yes.
Pitt had a better quarterback, more experience. Pickett over Hooker last year, got him
Correct.
in. Tennessee
Yes.
needed a late stand, late to keep Pitt out of the end zone, but it was a shootout type of game.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
What makes this year different from a Tennessee perspective wanting a shootout? They're going to go fast. They're going to press. They're going to get up and down. They're going to
Mhm.
score. The difference is
Please
the
tell me.
scouting report from last week's show that came true. Did you watch what Narduzzi and Signetti did to that offense? Those Pitt fans are not going to like this offense by the end of the year. Dave, first quarter, they came out I formation and were running the play clock under 10 before they were snapping it. This is a totally different offense. I'm not sure they can score with Pitt or with Tennessee, excuse me. I'm going to default here. I'm going to lay it. Give me Tennessee. The under might be a play too. What's the number? Started at 69 and a half, down to 65.
Yeah. I saw
I'm not sure
I
Pitt
didn't
can run
see
with them.
69. I saw opener 64 up to 65.
Okay.
So maybe if you saw an early number of 69 went under, that's probably not a bad idea. The number's already on the move. It's 6.5 in a lot of places. So if you like Pitt, you better grab it. If you're like B How, want to lay it with Tennessee, just I think it's more of a personal play with you against Pitt because you're against Pitt with everything. And I understand why. It's been a long time since that backyard brawl was renewed. And um, I still think West Virginia should have won that game, but that's a whole nother thing.
They should have. We'll get to that in a minute.
Tennessee beat Ball State. They housed Ball State. The MAC had a rough week last week. All right. It's done. What Pitt did with that offense made it look like 1978.
I told you
Okay.
they were going to do it. Did we not say that last week? We said they were going to do it. They told you all summer they were going to do it, and they did.
And they did. If they do that again and they're able to at least run the ball, this game has to go under. It
Mhm.
has to go under. It's too high. If they are unable to run the ball like that with any success, the game could go over. This is what and people listen to the show, watch the show and things like that. We'll get into, but this is the perfect like correlated parlay. If the favorite wins, it's much more likely to go over. If the dog wins, it's much more likely to go under. Keep that in mind as you handicap games, as well as watching them how they play out during the game for in-game stuff. So my thinking is it's way too many points. Not way too many. I mean, Tennessee has to be favored because they're an SEC team, which I don't know, B how if you haven't heard, you probably hear it on some other shows or the SEC is pretty good. It means more unless you're LSU and Brian Kelly. But that's a different story. They have to be favored. How much? I guess we saw the number 7. It's coming down.
Yeah, the other part of this too, Tennessee goes so fast, they'll get that quick passing game going.
Uh-huh.
Pitt's defensive line is legit. I was really impressed with them against West
Right?
Virginia. But the back end was the question mark going in. Pitt's susceptible to big plays. You saw it against Tennessee last year. You saw
Big
it at
plays.
times
They
for
look
West
like they're
Virginia.
susceptible to the forward pass covering people. There was a
Th-
lot of
that- well,
guys
that's
open in West Virginia.
that's the challenge. If their guys don't get home, they put a lot of pressure on West Virginia, but didn't get sacks until late. If they don't get home, you're going to get passing yards on the back end. Tennessee's going to do that all night long. I mean, I
Okay.
think Tennessee can score and score easily in this one. I do like the Vols
Okay.
here. The other part is just situationally. Pitt off a massive win, playing in front of the largest crowd ever to watch a football game in the city of Pittsburgh.
Tremendous.
We told you that was going to come too.
Yeah.
That came to fruition. Now they've got to turn around and bounce back against a really good team that's going to punch them in the mouth with a fast tempo situation. I like Tennessee here as well.
The game's on ABC at 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern. It's a big game. This is a big game for season wins for both teams. This is a big game for future prospects rest of the season for both teams. Don't sleep on Tennessee Pitt, even though you West Virginia guys don't like Pitt.
Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, click on another video right here on the screen. And if you really liked it, consider subscribing below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.